Welcome to our Board of Adjustment meeting. Turn them off. Let's begin by just taking a moment of silence, if we could. Let's be quiet together. Don't you love silence in meetings? It's a pretty unusual thing, isn't it?
It's peaceful.
I want to acknowledge that we have 7 people here tonight. So we have a full crowd of Board of Adjustment members. And so we note that we have a quorum. We can do our business tonight. We can vote on that. I would like for us to move forward by adopting our agenda. And we have the agenda before us. I'd like to receive a motion to adopt this agenda as presented.
I move we accept the agenda.
Second, any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Let's see, what else have we got here tonight? We need to adopt the minutes from the previous meeting. And I forget what the date on that meeting was. October 23rd, 2025. Could I receive a motion to approve those minutes? There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. And so we come now to our first item of our agenda tonight, which is a special use permit. And so we would like to receive, if we could, to begin with testimony or begin with the report from our...
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I need to disclose that I had talked to Danny and trying to get him, he wanted to schedule this as soon as he could. So I talked to you, talked to Brandon, and Brandon and I discussed it. So I called him, said I couldn't have any more chats with him. We left it at that and said that he should call you or the...
Great, thank you. All righty. Alexis, would you be able to walk us through your report for us tonight?
Sure. I would like to read these disclosures.
Okay. Is this the disclosure you read last time as well?
No, it's much shorter.
Thank you.
And my understanding too is Angie will need to swear in each person who comes to the podium.
Right.
Angie?
For the testimony?
Right.
Yeah.
She's actually over in the conference room over there, but she'll come in.
We'll grab her.
Yeah. All right. So here is the disclosure. The parties to this case are entitled to an impartial board. A board member may not participate in this hearing if she or he has a fixed opinion about the matter, a financial interest in the outcome of the matter, or a close relationship with an affected person. Does any board member have any partiality to disclose and recusal to offer?
No.
No.
Fantastic. All right. All right, so we're proceeding to the ex parte communication. The parties to this case have rights for any ex parte communication to be disclosed. Ex parte communication is any communication about the case outside of the hearing. That may include site visits as well as conversations with parties, staff, or the general public. Does any board member have any site visits to disclose?
No.
I already did that.
Okay, yeah, you did. Okay. All right. Does any board member have any conversations or other communications to disclose?
No.
No.
Great. Based on the disclosures we have heard from the board concerning partiality and ex parte communication, does any member of the board or any party to this matter have an objection to a board member's participation in the hearing? No. Okay.
No.
Great. We're ready to proceed.
I have a question. You said site visits are allowed or not allowed?
They are allowed. They should just be disclosed.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I drove by and saw the site. You live in
Yeah,
the site.
yeah, right. Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Okay, Alexis is our zoning administrator, or temporary zoning administrator anyway, interim. Would you
Okay.
share with us your report?
Should I be sworn in or can I?
You should be sworn.
Okay.
We'll have you share first, and then we'll swear our folks in
Sure.
before their testimony. you want to swear folks in first then? Okay.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. All right, Josh, if you could pull up the slides, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. Matthew Milne, applicant, on behalf of the property owners, Daniel and Marianne Zorn, is requesting the approval of a special use permit to build an accessory dwelling unit at 112 Kanawha Drive. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. PIN number 071054358300000. The subject property is zoned R1 Residential District and requires a special use permit in this district per the Montreat Zoning Ordinance Article 5, Zoning District Regulations, Section 500, Permitted Uses Table, Table 1 Permitted Use Table. Next slide, please. This is just kind of an overview where the property is. That corner on Mecklenburg and Kanawha Drive is actually curved, so it kind of distorts because I highlighted that. Next slide, please. The parcel identification number, 071054358300000. Owners Daniel and Mary Ann Zorn. The size of the property is 0.54 acres. Current zoning and use is R1 with a single-family residence on the property. It is entirely within the R1. R1 is on all sides. The north, it actually fronts on Kanawha Drive. South, there's a single-family residence. East, there's a single-family residence. And west is on Mecklenburg Circle. Next slide, please. So the accessory dwelling units require a special use permit in the R1 residential district. These are additional requirements for accessory dwellings units as outlined in Section 610 of the Montreat Zoning Ordinance. So an accessory dwelling unit shall be located only on a residential lot containing one single-family detached structure. The residential lot may contain other accessory structures as provided in this ordinance. Only one accessory dwelling unit shall be permitted per lot. No accessory dwelling unit shall exceed the height of the principal structure. The accessory dwelling unit shall meet the appropriate setbacks. The accessory dwelling unit shall be clearly subordinate to the main structure. The accessory dwelling unit must contain complete kitchen facilities, including a stove or cooktop, and a full bath, including a lavatory, water closet, and tub or shower, or combination. At least one parking space shall be provided in addition to those required for the principal dwelling. Manufactured housing, campers, travel trailers, and recreational vehicles are not permitted for use as an accessory dwelling unit. And finally, an accessory dwelling unit shall be occupied by no more than 4 persons. And the applicant did address this in the staff report. It's, I think, attachment 1. And if it's the pleasure of the board, you can also have the applicant read that into the record. All right. Next slide, please. The proposed accessory dwelling unit is in yellow, which is subject to the special use permit request. The existing residence is highlighted in gray. The pool area and deck paving would be subject to a staff level review. The subject property is a corner lot. Utilities are on site. For the pool, which is not subject to this application, fencing and landscaping standards are addressed in the plan set, and the applicant sought approval from MSD in September. Stormwater regulations will also be addressed during zoning compliance review. Next slide, please. Erosion and sediment control plan is not required. However, stormwater measures are required. There's no slopes above 40% on this property, so the hillside development ordinance is not applicable. And the subject property is not in the 100-year floodplain, so our floodplain ordinance is also not applicable. All right. Next slide, please. And these are the 6 findings, and I will read this out. To grant a special use permit, the board must find that the use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare if located where proposed and developed according to the plan as submitted and approved. That the use meets or will meet all the required and applicable development standards and conditions of the town of Montreat, including without limitation all development standards, conditions, and requirements related to utilities, parking, access, and stormwater drainage, and the applicable regulations of the zoning district in which it is located, except as such regulations may, for each case, be modified by the Board of Adjustment. Next, that the use will not substantially diminish and impair the value of the property, any portion of which is located within 250 feet of the boundary of the parcel on which the use will be located. Next, that the location and character of the use, if developed according to the plan as submitted and approved, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located and will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property for the purposes already permitted within the area in which it is located. That the location and character of the use, if developed according to the plan as submitted and approved, will be in general conformity with the adopted policies and plans, including the comprehensive plan of the town of Montreat. And finally, that adequate measures have been taken or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize congestion in the public streets. And again, the applicant did address this in attachment 1. And again, if it's at the pleasure of the board, you can ask them to read through that. Next slide, please. Board may impose conditions per section 310.641 of the Montreat zoning ordinance. The Board of Adjustment may impose reasonable and appropriate conditions accompanying its approval of the special use permit on the application to assure that the use in its proposed location will be harmonious and with the spirit and intent of this ordinance. And with that, that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Alexis? Okay, let's move forward to testimony from our applicants, if we could. If you'd come and have Angie swear you in. Any of you, is there anyone who would like to speak or like to have standing in this conversation as well to make any presentation? Any neighbors or anyone else? Okay.
Here's a gentleman back.
Mr. Zorn, will you be the only one speaking? Okay.
Do you swear the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, please.
there was one hand in the back. Just for the sake of clarity, was the hands that are raised, are those people who would like to speak in favor, or I'm sorry, would like to give general testimony about the project, or is anybody requesting to be a party with standing other than the applicant?
I will be a party with a standing other than applicant. But technical questions, I'm the general contractor for the project.
Yes, you need to be sworn in if you're going to make comments. Please.
And remember, my advice was just to swear people in right before they testify, but I'm happy for the chair to handle this.
Okay, let's go ahead with swearing our friend, our architect friend in for now, because we may have some questions for him.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you.
And I think I'm not sure that you are actually requesting to be a party with standing. So a party with standing is someone who's not just going to give testimony, but wants to participate in the hearing by cross-examining witnesses, or someone who thinks they might suffer special damages as a result of the decision. Okay, so you'd like to be sworn and give testimony that could help this board make their decision.
Yes, we would like, not necessarily for a testimony, but could we have a presentation and then have your questions at the conclusion of his presentation? That might be a better way to move forward. Okay, Mr. Zorn.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
2 weeks off of knee replacement, so I'm trying to stay steady up here. My name is Dan Zorn. My wife and I, Mary Ann, is it on? Is it on? Okay. Can you hear me okay if I don't use the mic?
And we might be able to hear you, but maybe the folks in the listening
I see.
might not
Is
be
that
able
better?
to. Yeah, great.
Again,
Thank
my
you.
name is Danny Zorn. My wife, Mary Ann, and I moved here in 2017 from Black Mountain. We moved into a house that needed a lot of work. If you've been up there, it had a 6-foot chain link fence, looked like a prison yard. It was remarkable. It needed a lot of infrastructure, and we said, you know, we're going to redo this thing in 3 stages. First stage was get the water off of it and out of the basement, which was significant. Second stage was to renovate the internal section for 1-level living and a big family. We have 4 kids and they're growing. And the third stage is to put this pool out and this pool house and landscaping and then kind of seal it up with the fence. Been very thoughtful, a lot of money, a lot of design in this thing. And the storm kind of reminded us that we wanted to be here permanently. And we have a very tight-knit community. There are people here who hopefully may be able to stand up if you allow them to say they're in favor of it. Maggie's a wild card. She may jump up and say no. But we're all tight-knit. We look after each other. And one of the things we're wary of are Airbnbs. We've got 1 or 2, and they're disruptive. So we're just mindful of that. This project hopefully can go forward. We spent about 9 months, a lot of money on design. I think it's pretty tight. If you want to hear from Matthew, our builder, I think he'll answer any technical questions. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Just encourage you, if you vote no, great. If you vote yes, even greater. If you vote yes, I would hope if you're able to do it tonight, just because we've got so many things in the pipeline that we've got to get moving, that we spent a lot of money on. I think the neighborhood will be very pleased with the result of this thing. I think that's all I got.
Thank you very much. Questions from our board? Yes, Mr. Matthew, I don't remember your last name. If you would come forward and share with us.
It's Matthew Milne.
Matthew Milne, Mr. Milne. If you'd come forward and share with us these requirements that we have before us. I don't see an appendice here, but
Yeah, there's 9 requirements.
yeah, if you could share those with us, that would be really helpful.
Sure. The 9, the property needs to be on a single-family residence lot, which this is. It'll be the only ADU, so the second requirement is that it's the only ADU on the property in question, which it will be. It will not exceed the height of the principal structure, which it will not. It'll be within the setbacks, which it will be within the setbacks, close to 1, but within it. It'll be subordinate to the main structure. The main home is 3,200 square feet, and the ADU is 950 square feet. It'll have a full kitchen and a bathroom, a half bath downstairs, and a full kitchen, or a kitchenette upstairs with a full bath upstairs. That'll be a guest residence for family or friends that are staying in the home. Downstairs will be for entertaining. And additional parking is required, at least 1 spot. We added 3 spots in 2024 under a approval from the town. That was Dee Christina at the time, Kayla, who oversaw that additional parking. So they have 4 spots that were original to the home. 3 are required by the zoning code, and then 1 additional one for the ADU. There's currently 7 available. 3 paved off-street parking, fully off-street, and then 2 indoor in the garage, and 2 just outside of it. So plenty of parking for the unit, and again, that was all permitted and approved by the city before and after. The ADU needs to be built on a masonry foundation and will not be mobile. And this is not a trailer. This will be on a foundation with 2 slabs, actually, a suspended slab and then a slab for the mechanical room for the pool below. The ADU will not be occupied permanently by more than 4 residents. This will not be, no one will be living there permanently, but as it's designed, it would comfortably fit 1 or 2 people. It's kind of ideal for like a mother-in-law suite upstairs at most. But those are the 9 requirements for ADUs from the Town of Montreat's ordinance, zoning ordinance.
Could you also speak to these 6 findings of fact that we have?
Yeah, the 6 findings of fact, that was part of one of my answers to the findings of fact. Will it be detrimental to the public health? The pavilion will not be detrimental to public health in any way. Access to the pool will be restricted, which is not actually part of the hearing, but it will be restricted on all sides. The community members might be curious about that. So to ensure safe use. Additionally, it'll meet all building codes and standards mandated by Buncombe County and the Town of Montreat. I'm a licensed contractor with all requisite insurance licenses necessary to build in a safe and responsible manner with a track record proven on the previous phase of work at that residence in 2023 and 2024. That it meets all applicable development standards. Our team of licensed design and construction professionals, architect, landscape architect, pool design team, and licensed contractors have taken care to ensure the proposed project will meet or exceed all standards put forth by the county and the town. During our previous phase of work, I mentioned this, but we added the off-street parking to ensure safe access for all guests and of the residents. Again, as I said, done in conjunction with the town. There's stormwater and drainage control plan included in the documents submitted with a thorough course for controlling drainage during construction, as well as extensive native species planting plan that will provide erosion and drainage control, as well as habitat for local wildlife. I also then, in my responses, went over the 9 points that I just mentioned. Then the next point is that it will not substantially diminish or impair the value of property or portion located within 250 feet of the boundary. There's no clear way in which this structure and the corresponding landscaping could diminish the value of anyone's property. It'll clearly add value to the subject's property, which in turn could be beneficial to the properties nearby. And that the next point is that the location and character of use will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located. It's going to match the planned ADU will conform to the character of the existing primary structure in color, materials, and style. It's very intentionally designed in a way to complement the property and appear as though it was built near the same time. Siding, trim, roofing materials will all match the existing structure as detailed in the plans put forth. This is similar to what we did on the previous phase of work with the addition last year. And once again, the landscaping will be nothing short of a beautification project for the space. The broad array of native species will be beneficial to the aesthetics of the area, as well as the local wildlife that will interact with them. The next point is that will be in general conformity with the adopted policies and plans, including the comprehensive plan of the Town of Montreat. We feel the plan conforms to the adopted policies and the comprehensive plan of the Town of Montreat. This is a clear case of redevelopment of land that preserves the existing character of the property while promoting natural beauty and increasing the amount of native plant species that the local fauna can inhabit. ADUs are becoming much more common. You're probably seeing more and more of these before you. And we feel this is a great example of how to build alternative structures that do not stand out like sore thumbs or provide additional congestion on the city's streets. We feel this is, as I mentioned earlier, kind of while it's going to be used as entertainment for their family and friends, this is kind of an ideal scenario for a future mother-in-law suite for either the Zorns or a future resident of this space. And then the last point is that adequate measures have been taken or will be taken to provide ingress and egress, so designated as to minimize congestion on the public streets. So during construction, there's a clear construction entrance outlined in the plans, and the Zorns have coordinated with their immediate neighbors to allow parking access in their driveway during business hours. This will significantly reduce the number of vehicles parking on city streets during the construction process. And as mentioned, we already have plenty of parking on the site for guests and friends of the Zorns. So those are the 6 points.
Could you stay for a second? Any
Sure.
questions that we would have for Mr. Milne?
I have a question. So I see a swimming pool.
Yes,
Is there one on the property now?
there's not.
I see a swimming pool.
Yes.
There's not one on the property now. So
Correct.
we're only here to approve the structure, not a pool.
Correct.
that
Based
gonna be-
on the zoning code, R1 residential pools are permitted. They're allowed. They do not qualify to be put before this board. Just ADUs, which the ADU, the structure we're building, the pavilion, qualifies because it has a kitchen and a bathroom.
Okay, so this is for the zoning. Are they going to have to make application separate to a different board for a pool?
No, that's an administrative approval.
Okay,
So yeah, that'll be a permit pulled with Buncombe County,
okay.
and then inspected by Buncombe County officials down the line to ensure that it conforms with all the codes of the county and state.
And when do you expect that to start?
They're going to be part of our zoning approval, the administrative approval. However, the building construction portion of that will be filed separately than my application for building. But they'll be happening in conjunction. We're going to start first, and they're going to build to us because we integrate very seamlessly. So the work will be happening in conjunction, but I'm not sure exactly their construction schedule. That's out of my purview.
Thank you.
Did you have something you want to say?
I was just going to build on that and just say prior to him being able to get any building permits, he does need to actually get zoning compliance first.
Correct. So you precede zoning compliance, and then zoning compliance precedes building approval. So that's the kind of process we're starting tonight, which is why Dan is anxious to get an approval from y'all if it is to come, so that we can start those subsequent steps in order to get construction underway, hopefully in the new year.
Any other questions, comments? All righty.
I have one for the Zorns.
Sure.
Do you currently have, or do you anticipate having any future mothers-in-law?
Are you volunteering?
No, just curious. No, that was facetious, I'm sorry.
Yes, this is a great question.
Okay.
Just grandkids.
Just kidding, okay.
I'll allow to add one more when you're finished with that.
Yes, if you'd come to the microphone, please. Sure.
Thank you so much. Yes, on?
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to add that our letters sent out to everybody within 250 feet, and because we're a tight-knit community, I call it Middle Kanawha, everybody called. I didn't solicit them, but we answered questions. So I have letters of approval from everyone. I don't know that anyone may dissent, maybe Maggie, I don't know, but it's a lot of support for this, and I can speak, if you pull the map up, to the contiguous properties, what they say as well, but it's all the same.
Do you want to enter those into evidence?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you'll need to read those. Josh, could you pull up that slide? I guess it would be the zoning slide. It'd be like the second one if you're able to. Thank you so much.
And do we have also anyone who would like to speak in favor or against tonight? Okay, so we need to get you guys to come forward to be sworn in as well. Okay, so as soon as Alexis is done with this point,
I'm done with this
we'll
point.
have Angie come in. You're done?
Yeah.
Is Danny done? Did he any of this? He's sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so the three who would like to speak, if you would come and be sworn in, please, in front of Angie.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, but nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Hello. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No one knows.
Who's going to go first?
Who would like to be first?
I just have two
If you
questions.
could. Yeah.
I have two questions, but Dan.
And if you'd state your name, please.
Margaret Elliott, we live across the street, 117 Kanawha. Danny's already answered one question about the parking. He has 4 children, we have 3 children, lots of cars, lots of coming and going. But my second question is, will it be lighted? And at night, how much ambient light is that going to create in that little spot? Because it's very dark where we are, not many street lights.
That's a great question. It's all low lighting. I mean,
Sorry for this runaround on the
Good
microphone.
question, Maggie. Thank you. All the lighting is low. I'd even love to do that to the 2 street lights, but low lighting toward the
So you'll
ground.
have nothing?
Nothing. That's correct.
Not even
Because
on
we don't
the-
want it to, we have the sky view. We don't want to disturb that ourselves.
And nothing on the ADU?
That's correct.
Like
That's correct.
motion-sensitive light?
No.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Come to the microphone, please. If you'd state your name.
My name is Ed Teeters. I bought a house in 1975. My wife and I did. And I've known Danny ever since he moved in. And I'll tell you one thing. He keeps that property pristine. He's amazing. And he also takes care of the whole neighborhood. And many times he comes up. Now, he doesn't do this to get my vote now, mind you. But he did. He blows my leaves at my house without me even asking. Because he knows sometimes I have a back issue and I can't do much out there sometimes. So he takes care of all of us. And I absolutely, I have no, would like to, I'd like to see that property, is completed, whatever he's going to do. All right?
Thank you very much for your words.
Ed,
Yeah. Yeah.
There. Where do you live? What's your house number?
Well, I live at 107 Kanawha. I'm just, Mecklenburg he's on the corner of Mecklenburg,
And
second Mecklenburg. And then if you're going up Kanawha, I'm the first house on the right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I meant to tell you that.
That's all right.
Help, doesn't it?
Our third guest, please come forward and state your name.
My name is Rick Harbaugh. I live at 120 Kanawha, which is down the street from Marianne and Danny, kind of the same spot on Mecklenburg as it loops around down below. And they've done a fantastic job with the house. Will do a fantastic job with what they got. My ex and I redid a house on Alabama Terrace where the garage was on town property, and we wanted to redo it and make it look like the house. And you guys were very accommodating, and I appreciate it. And they will do a fantastic job. And the only thing, I just ask for expedited approval so they can move on with this thing. It's been a long time planning. They put a lot of sweat and effort, so it'll be a benefit to the town. This stuff is going to outlive us all. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Is there any other questions or discussion? I don't think we as a group need to go into private discussion among ourselves. Maybe we'll need to, but it seems like we have a way forward.
I do have a question about the expedited process, just so that could be, with the necessity of it, and if we don't approve it tonight, it would show up for written order at the next meeting.
I think maybe the township attorney could speak to what we've been talking about in that. Okay.
I'm happy to. So we've got one housekeeping matter from staff. In the past, it's been the habit of this board to reconvene at its next meeting and review orders. We have talked about a way to expedite that process. The option for the board tonight would be for me to take a few minutes after the board has its motion and vote and give me a few minutes to draft an order. We will put the order up on these screens for the board to review. After the board can review and make any changes, and if the board feels comfortable with the order after being able to see it on the screen, the board can vote and approve the order.
Tonight.
Tonight.
So is
That's
that
right.
something we're going to do regularly now, or is that just for this particular request?
That is not my decision to make. It is a process that I've seen used in other jurisdictions, and in a jurisdiction that I used to provide legal services, that is how I set it up and how they still do it. So I think it's an option. I will say it does sometimes add time to your meetings. It might mean that on a meeting where you may be able to hear a certain number of matters, it may restrict you from hearing quite as many. But you'll get a feel for it tonight for how long it takes.
So my question is, last meeting we had 3 requests, and if we use this new model, I guess it's up to the board, I'm talking to the board, are we going to sit here and wait for you to draft 3 written orders?
If we decided to do that, yeah.
So
As
I understand that.
We're not changing the procedure, we're just doing it for tonight.
This is an exception for tonight.
I think that the board the board can adopt whichever procedure it likes. I think that my understanding from talking to the chair is that there's some appetite for looking at this procedure. So this might be a good test run, and the board can decide whether it's something it wants to entertain in the future.
And I want to add, we do pre-draft it. There's just a few things that we don't know until you make a decision. So it's not like he's writing the whole thing on the fly.
And while we're on that topic, when it's pre-drafted, it is drafted in the neutral. And that is the biggest part of the change, is we don't know how this board will rule. So we take care to make sure that the proposed order has a lot of blank spaces in it. So we know what the board decides. So we're really filling in the findings that the board makes. I don't want to give the impression that we are guessing what the board will do and drafting an order in advance of that. So we'll have the order shell drafted, and we will fill in those blanks after this board makes a decision.
So if we don't go with that new model tonight, when would our next meeting be? Since we...
18th, I think, of December.
Okay.
Or,
That's what
Yeah.
this says.
Okay.
do we need to take a vote on that as a board? It's not in our agenda for this evening.
I don't believe that the board needs to take a vote on it. If there is an objection to doing this process, then I think there should be some deliberation and a vote. But if there's no objection from the board members, I don't see a reason for the board to vote on this specifically.
Go ahead.
Danny, may I ask, we'll dispose of tonight, however we're going to do it, but I hope before we adopt a final change of policy, I think there's some things to talk about.
Okay, yeah.
In relation to, everybody wants their project approved now.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that should rush the board in any way. So I just think at some point we've got to.
Yeah, well stated.
think of that.
Well stated. Good.
I-
Okay.
I would like to, so Mr. Chair, I would like to move that the staff report and all documents attached there to be admitted into evidence.
Yes. There's a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion?
Can she make a motion? She made the motion. So we need a board member.
I'll make that motion.
Make that, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. I can do that motion thing. That's about all I can do.
Mr. Chair, don't forget to
Okay,
take
so
in the
now-
evidence.
Okay, so yes, we wanted to make sure that gets submitted into evidence. Maybe you can just pass it on. And let's have a little discussion about this special use permit. Is there anything anybody's unclear about? If not, are we ready to move? And if so, we receive a motion. I think there's something drafted here. A suggested motion that might help you with your wording.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we adopt the procedure, that the format contained in the draft order with the specifications that Brandon had talked to, that we adopt that and that we approve this, move that we approve this.
With the special requirements and with the 6 findings of fact attached.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Whew. Is there any discussion?
I'll speak, I know the family, and I know this family, and if they do a project, they're going to do it right. That is for sure.
Mary Ann is, I'm not sure about Danny.
I said the family.
Are there any special conditions anybody wants to offer, like membership or like a board of adjustments kind of, you rent, some kind of a deal? Obviously, you have to be very careful about joking in public, right? That was a joke. No intention there. All right, great. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. So we'd like to move forward with adopting this or having this written by our township attorney. We'll adjourn for, I don't know, however long it takes, for a couple of minutes or whatever.
I would request just a quick recess.
A quick
I
recess,
think
not an adjournment. A
5
recess.
minutes would be
There
fine.
you go. Thank you. Time to eat some candy.
Yes.
Drink some tea.
Math pass in the room.
I didn't really get it in your testimony, just how many mothers-in-law
Keeps it straight. And even in just the pure process of it.
Okay, can we call ourselves to order again so we can read this written order that's in front of us? Don't have it.
Get up here, woman.
I'm tall.
Chit chat.
Okay, so what would be the best way? You want to read it out loud?
I don't think it's legally required for me to read every word of this. So what I'm happy to just give an overview.
Yes, please.
If there are any places where the board would like for me to linger, I can do that. Or items that the board would like for me to read out loud, I can do that as well. So this is just what we call a caption. It talks about our jurisdiction. This is the Monterey Board of Adjustment. This is an order from this board, and it concerns a special use permit for an accessory dwelling unit at 112 Kanoa Drive. Kanoa Drive. Kanawha.
Any West
I think that's how I said it the
Virginians
first time, for the record.
have to.
So far.
All right. This identifies the property more specifically by tax lot PIN and the applicants and the property owners. This first findings of fact section just talks generally about what a board would consider. So the first is you heard your zoning administrator talk about how the property was advertised. I believe that was in the staff report if it wasn't said explicitly. At the hearing, the applicants were given the opportunity to offer evidence and cross-examine witnesses. We went over the standing provisions. We talked about the subject property being in R1 zoning. The findings go on to state what the standards are. Alexis went over those standards. Here they are. The general standards for a special use permit found in 310 are listed out. And then the standards specific to address accessory dwelling units are listed out in paragraph 7 here. These are the 9 standards that were discussed, or the 9 standards. They are numbered by letter here, so they go to I. The next findings paragraph, this is paragraph 8.
Brandon, on that, on 7, you checked the correct answer, on ours are blank. So
It's up on the screen.
okay.
That's right. So in the paper version that you have, in future, you probably won't see those. It was sort of a concept draft that was sent around. It is missing from it the check boxes that you will see in just a second in paragraph 9. So I would encourage everyone to follow along with what's on the screen because that's the one you're going to be voting on.
I think as we mentioned, we drafted it to be neutral because we didn't know what it was. And that is not the copy.
Yeah, the copy you have is also neutral. It's just missing the specific standards to the accessory dwelling units. So it does contain, these are your findings of fact as to whether you believe, whether the board found that this project meets the standards in the ordinance. From the board's motion, it appears that the board did believe those findings were met. So this part of the order expressly says that will not be detrimental to the public health, will meet the required development standards, will not substantially diminish and impair the property surrounding the subject property, will be in harmony with the area, and will be in general conformity with the ordinances. And I'll just, if you look at the screen, these are check boxes, so that's, in future, these orders will be a little quicker to draft because I had to make sure we had this next section, which we will look at, which is specific to the accessory dwelling unit standards. And I'm going to add six 19.1. Okay. Again, we go through those standards. Will be located on only one residential lot. Will not result in the accessory, I'm sorry. So we will say will result in only one accessory dwelling unit. Everyone okay with that change I just made in real time?
Yes.
Okay. Accessory dwelling unit will not exceed the height of the principal structure. Accessory dwelling unit will meet the appropriate setbacks. Accessory dwelling unit will be clearly subordinate to the main structure. Accessory dwelling unit will contain a complete kitchen facility. At least one parking space will be provided in addition to those required for the principal dwelling. The accessory dwelling unit will not result in manufactured housing, camper, travel trailers, etc. The accessory dwelling unit
Being occupied.
will not result in will not
Occupation.
Be occupied by. Not be occupied by. Yeah.
Everyone okay with that change?
Yes.
Okay, the accessory dwelling unit. Okay, sorry. The proposed accessory dwelling unit will not be occupied by more than 4 persons. No additional conditions that I heard from this board were included in the motion, and I don't think any were discussed. So the order here says lists none for additional conditions imposed by this board. The conclusions of the law are simple. The applicant's request for a special use permit together with the imposition of conditions found necessary above, if any, which there are none, meets each applicable requirement of the ordinance. Based on the foregoing findings of fact and conclusion of law, the board orders that the applicant is granted a special use permit to establish an accessory dwelling unit. This order will bear today's date, the 20th of November, and be signed by Board Chair Danny Sharp. When the board approves this order, if the board approves this order as I've had it written, I would ask that the board give me and staff permission to make technical corrections to this order that do not make any substantial changes, just in case we find another typo.
I think that's very wise, yeah.
So moved.
Is there a page 6? You have 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. So page 6 is a certificate of service. This will be sent out to the property owner through Terra Firma Builders. And would the property owners like a copy by email? Okay. Can you give me a good email address?
Yes, d.zorn@aol.com. Mr. Chair. Second.
There's a motion and a second that we would allow our township attorney to make unsubstantial, technical little detail changes. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Now we proceed to the written order. We need a motion to approve the written order. Is there a second? Those in favor, any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Thank you guys for putting that all together so quickly, under pressure, under the heat. Okay, so we have just one or two little things, and that is we still have a meeting on December 18th, which is Thursday, scheduled, but nothing yet on the docket. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so we may cancel that. And then the second item is no new business. So, motion to adjourn. Second? No need for a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So let it be. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. There's no agenda. Council.
Take care of those oranges. Enjoy yours too.